What's up, good people? It's your boys, Beards of War, back again. Got myself, Thick Nick Fury, FBR for President Fat Broker Rambo, aka the digital media demigod. We got Scorched Earth, aka the arson assassin. Behind the scenes, the conductor of chaos, hey Captain Jack. And we got a good Christmas show for you guys.
Conductor
It's that time of year, man. That time of year. It's Christmas time, so our Christmas pick, Die Hard 2. Bruce Willis, one of the best to ever do it. We're gonna have fun with this. This is one of those late 80s, early 90s, time frame where you really see how things were in the airports prior to 9/11, where you got to just smoke everywhere. There were phones abound everywhere. It was just crazy access. The NYPD slash Washington the Metro Police slash LAX. Everybody was involved. So we're gonna get into
LAX.
it. This
The
is
movies in
one
Washington.
of those great movies, man. If you haven't practiced karate in front of the mirror and you're in the nude, and you are not an 80s villain. All right, so let's get started. What's up, Rambo? You want to kick it off, bro?
It was Tai Chi, man. Yeah, I ask every Green Beret I encounter, I'm like, hey, do you do Tai Chi naked in front of a hotel mirror? But they don't seem to appreciate the joke very much.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man. So this kicks off. So John McClane's now an LA detective, creative writing, I guess. So that explains why he's probably out in Nakatomi, but now he's visiting his in-laws at Dulles or in Washington, D.C. So he's at Dulles Airport picking up his wife, Bonnie, who's flying in from LA. And lo and behold, man, John's doing his thing and comes across some nefarious shenanigans going in the luggage room, and the bad guys throw down with him with a Glock, which is a Austrian-made porcelain gun. That's what this film taught me. Yeah, man. So he does some hodgepodge like fingerprinting of the corpse. The bad guy he took out with like the luggage presser, which is horrific. I wouldn't want to go out that way. Yeah, he fingerprints the dead guy and then faxes it from his local enterprise lady, who is obviously flirting with him until she sees the wedding ring, back to our main man out in LA for a glorified cameo of what he used to be.
Right.
Reginald Johnson, man. Oh, what a legend.
I'm telling you, Carl Winslow, for those who know for Family Matters. And you got Dennis Franz doing what he does. It's playing law enforcement, right? And you can't beat it because he always gives you that take charge attitude. He's in charge of, the Washington Dulles, security or police force or whatever. And John McClane is just trying to like let these guys in on what's going on, right? So you got the most, obvious non-conspicuous thugs, right? They must get these guys from Thugs R Us. I don't know, but they all look like they're some kind of runway models. Now, amongst these guys, if you guys notice, we have two very familiar faces, right? You got Robert Patrick, aka T2 from Terminator, and you got John Leguizamo. That was a quick one. That was like, wait a minute, okay. But so that's what I enjoy about watching these older movies. You see some familiar faces back before they became, who they are now. And so this is like you said, man, we're gonna fax the fingerprints over, and it's just kind of like one of those you just expect it to be more of the insane action types. I appreciate the stuntmen, I appreciate the explosions, the stunt doubles, like everything is what makes it cheesy yet fun. So this is one of those you can obviously tell like when the stuntmen are coming, it is great because it's still action, and I love it. And the dummies, you see the little dummies like, falling on the floor and stuff like that. But it's good action, good one-liner from Bruce Willis as always. And, he's just in there just doing, like I said, what John McClane does. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, even though it's not my jurisdiction, but hey, fuck's jurisdiction. This is like Axel Foley type shit. I'm here. I'm in LA. I'm going to take over. Don't you worry about it. I got it. So I don't know.
It's not in LA. It's in DC.
Well, now, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you go from an NYPD cop, now you're in LA, now you're in Washington. So it's like, what jurisdiction?
And the third one, he goes back to being an NYPD cop. So,
yeah, I would say you're in for it when all of the guys, all the villains, come out of their hotel rooms in kind of sequence with their briefcases, all in suits with like this stoic look, and they're all walking in ranks down the hallway of the hotel. But that wouldn't draw any attention at all. That doesn't look suspect.
It's dress for success, the Q course. Yeah. I mean, that's what you get.
Yeah, you're like, come on. But it was a fun movie, right? This is one of my favorites from that time era. I will say there's definitely some other ones that Bruce was in that beat it out. And to be honest, I the way I feel about it is Die Hard, while it was a good, chain of movies, they got worse over time. But It's Bruce Willis, man. So you got to watch it, regardless of if it gets bad. If you got, I don't know, cars launching over Jersey barriers and hitting helicopters, it doesn't matter because it's, it's Bruce Willis, right? Yeah, those things are just that nuance that you kind of expect from a Bruce Willis movie of this type. But yeah, it was a great movie, man. Great movie, lots of action and the one-liners.
What I really loved about this film was the plot twist we got, because we didn't really get that heavy of a plot twist in the first one. But halfway through the movie, the SF team gone rogue is basically like taking control of the lights because they're trying to rescue a South American dictator that's very much like Noriega from Panama in like 89, 87, whatever it was. So they're basically trying to like scoop this guy up. They've faked their own deaths. And I love how the former OIC is coming in, John Amos, with his crew of pipe hitters, and they're going to take on their old commanding officer, right? This all sounds great. Mm-hmm. We don't have to pay attention to the color-coded mags that they're all swapping out so independently. Like, that's going to be something. Don't worry, in 1990, I had no idea what the fuck that meant. I just knew that they had MP5s and looked badass. But yeah, lo and behold, John Amos and crew are in on the fix, man. So once they know they've bought enough time to rescue their esteemed dictator, the jig is up, man. And now John McClane is going up against double the size and double the outfits, because they're all in like blue berets, and I'm not sure what the army unit that has those are. But but yeah, man, and they make it work. I remember as a kid seeing that scene where John Amos cuts that dude's throat.
Yeah.
And I was so like taken back on that. I was like, wait, so was that dude the inside man, or was John Amos the inside man? I was so fucking confused, man. How could the owner of McDowell's do this?
But what I thought was actually pretty funny that kind of led up to that tell. And this is a subtle thing now that as I'm older, I kind of pick up on. He was really calm with those guys in the back of a truck putting on like white masks.
Yeah,
and he was like the only man of color. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this might not end well. But so it's just one other thing I noticed now.
Never took it that way, but okay,
I never noticed it. But so like you said, that was a good twist, and it was kind of like it's good, like the movie The Rock, right? Like when the new guys are taking over the old commander, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a clash, that thing.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that the general, this high profile criminal who's being transported by one inept PFC, and I'm like, really? Like, so this man that you literally have to make sure it gets from A to B, this is your only like point of failure. Like this one person who doesn't even have, I don't think he had a firearm.
He did.
And it's like, come on, man. Like, so you kind of wonder how deep did it go, right? Like how far back were they like, okay, we're going to set this up so that way it's an easy, transition where they can pick them up. So it may have gone even further back than the major and his men. So that was interesting.
Yeah. I will say that scene where they go to rescue him and John intersects them is probably one of the tensest scenes, because he's trying to get his arm out before the wheel crushes over the exhaust panel that he's climbing out of onto the runway. And then the plane stops and the dude opens the door and he's like, fresh air, and he's like, freedom. And then John just pops in. He's like, not yet, and just busts him in the chops, which leads us into probably the longest fucking hand grenade fucking fuse I've ever seen in my life, because it takes like 10 minutes. They just hose his cockpit with MP5 rounds. They must throw like half a dozen grenades in there, and he's just like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, he's got time to think, bro. This is already over. But kudos to Hollywood. They made the scene work. Like, it takes them about a minute and a half to get there. But you know what, man? It's like the scene in the first one when he pours all the C4 onto that office chair and be like, fuck him. And he's pouring blasting caps. Be like, dude, all you're doing is throwing it down a fucking elevator shaft. Like, when we get a nuclear explosion out of that bitch, I can suspend reality for this one.
Dude, that's the 80s and 90s, bro. You got massive explosions for everything. And, it was just, he gets in the seat, pulls like the ejector seat, and just flies. That's like early time CGI, right? The flame behind him, you see him screaming in the air, and it's like in the seat. And that's like one of the iconic, scenes from that movie. Like every time you see Die Hard 2, you see that scene with him flying up in the air with the explosion behind him.
He starts coming back down. He's like, fuck.
Right. So these are the things you just you pass by, man. This is what it was back in that time frame. And I will say this, that the character of the Colonel, played by Adler, he was serious, man. He blew up a plane of about 230 people.
He was not fucking around, man.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay.
I think William Sadler is probably one of the best. Like, he's a great support character, man. Like going between like Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight to Shawshank Redemption. The dude's been in everything, and he's always fun to watch. He's just one of those actors that just like steals every scene he's in. I think he's completely menacing. I'd almost say he's like 180 off of like Hans Gruber, who was like cold and calculated, but you didn't think he could throw down. You look at William Sadler, man, and like McClane bites a chunk out of his hand when they're fist fighting on the wing of the aircraft, and he just like shakes it off. He's like, "Let's fucking go!" And I'm just like, "Damn, he is gonna fuck your ass up like a hotel mirror."
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Naked Tai Chi in the hotel. So right, he's got to be at least the level of what's the guy off of Jim Cotta? So
wow,
yeah. So hey, here's an anecdote for you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a prominent brand of watch that kept showing up in this, like in a lot of movies. Tag Heuer. So shout out to Tag Heuer for being a sponsor in that one. They had their print all.
Yeah, man.
Everybody.
If you guys want to send us some watches, we'll rock that shit for the show. You just you get in contact with our people, we'll rock them.
Hashtag
our people
Tag
being
Heuer, BOW.
Yeah.
To us.
Chris Helmsworth ain't got nothing on us, man.
And the grenades were like, what's the guy? Oh man, there was a bunch of stuff on the internet about him, but essentially it was a team guy that he said he had 50 grenades in a backpack and was just dumping them into mud huts in Afghanistan. That's kind of what that reminded me of. Like all these grenades
talking about
being thrown in there.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I think a lot of people know.
Yeah,
but I think so.
Yeah.
And I think,
he was a Green Beret. No, he wasn't a team guy. He was
Rail.
No, that was solid because of the grenades. Those grenades, man, he laid in there and watched those grenades forever.
And an egg timer, right?
He and another one.
Timer.
And another one. I'm like,
right? And like you don't get to count grenades. Like this is not how it works. But now he's trying to convince them that there's a problem, right? So after he finds out after the snowmobile,
one of the next best scenes in the movie,
right? Oh, so I'm just gonna blast at the the commanding officer here in the airport with a MP5 and like, oh yeah, just I'm just gonna shoot, and no one responds with fire.
No kidding,
like,
right?
Wait a minute, that's a hell of a shot. That's a hell of a risk taken. And they just sat there with their guns drawn, like, oh wow, he just killed like 8 people in front of us, and we did nothing.
You literally could have just shown him the mag that it's blank. It's a blank round. It's very distinct. You could have just shown him that.
Right.
I think at that point he had already had enough. He was like, look, dude, I've been trying to tell you guys forever. I want to take out a little aggression passively right now.
He's lucky he didn't get riddled, man.
Wrong mag. Right? You're like, oh, sorry. They put the wrong tape. Like, who knew?
Right.
Like,
don't never get right.
Another good funny part of the clip was the cop that originally had his car towed ended up being a brother.
Oh yeah.
At the end of it,
Merry Christmas.
So that's just again, man, a nice little add on to these action type movies that give you a little comic relief at the end, and that's just like I'd say the beginning of what just turned out to be a diehard franchise that would not die.
Nice.
So harder. It didn't die at all. It didn't die easy. But yeah, man, that's pretty much Die Hard 2. Does anybody got anything they want to add on to this, or this is like it is what it is, man. Like,
go check it out on Hulu. If you haven't watched it yet, you got nothing better to do. Nobody wants to watch the fucking Christmas Story for the 17,000th time. All right, yeah, he's gonna shoot his fucking eye out. The end. Move on to something better. Die Hard 2 is where it's at.
There you go. That's
and it's kid friendly.
2 Christmas movies. And you can blow up a plane with fuel that runs down the runway up into the plane and it blows up. Apparently, that's the thing.
Yeah, and you can light it with a lighter.
With a lighter.
I'm good with that.
That's plausible. All right, guys. All right, so let's go with some recommendations. So let the people know what's another good movie you may have in store for them. Do you want to start us off, Scorched?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with in that same line, a Christmas movie, cult classic. And a movie better than this one, Die Hard #1, 1988. I would argue that the Nakatomi Tower one was better, and that was by far my favorite one. But if you guys haven't seen that, you got to check it out. So, as the guys mentioned earlier, was he a New York cop then? New York cop, yeah, he was a New York cop, and they went to go see his wife, and of course, international terrorists. This Hans Gruber and his band of merry thugs decide they're going to take over the tower. And I mean, it was interesting. I will say a theme that I've seen in this is that they always you got to have at least the one guy that's in there that's different than the other, just like they had in number 2. And oddly enough, they looked almost identical. But you guys will figure it out if you watch both of them on the villain side. But yeah, I mean, it was great. That's where we got the whole yippee-ki-yay from, right? And that stuck around, and it's just like one of those great one-liners. But the Nakatomi Tower thing has been like a cult classic for everybody, from people doing the countdown, people doing 3D printing Nakatomi Towers, and just moving him. You're talking about Hans Gruber
I have
falling.
one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with Die Hard 1. So I would offer, if you guys are going to check out number 2, you obviously got time to check it out. So you might as well throw number 1 in first and watch them in sequence, just to add, to the love. That was a great one. That was my favorite out of the entire franchise.
Love that scene of like, man, we're gonna need some more FBI guys.
Oh, yeah, and another thing I found out, so the Hans Gruber fall, when they set him up in the rig, they actually say, "Oh, we're going to count down to 3,"
They
and then they
didn't tell
drop him
him.
on
Oh,
2,
yeah.
right? So he got that actual fear in his face. That's real fear, by the way.
Yeah.
And that was a great story. And then they did, like, I think, a tribute or something to Bruce Willis, and the great actor that plays, his name escapes me right now. I know you guys know his name, that played Hans Gruber. He comes out with like a neck brace and like
Alan
on
Rickman.
crutches. Alan Rickman, yeah, he comes out like he had survived the fall. And it's just like those types of things that just makes the show, makes the movie just kind of more legendary. Having those people kind of take it outside of the theater into other aspects of entertainment, and it just sticks. Like Die Hard 2. I mean, that's Bruce Willis. Those
Not
are
to
the
mention,
cornerstones.
single-handedly, probably one of the all-time best action movie endings ever is the original Die Hard, man. When that music booms and you see the bad guy for the last time, and Al fucking throws down on the guy, oh, it's just
Yeah.
so good, man.
Absolutely. All right, Rambo, man, what you got for us, bro?
Ah, man. So like halfway through the review, I kind of like wanted to split my time. I would say, hey, if you like Rennie Harlan, who directed this film, check out Deep Blue Sea, man. Great shark attack movie. But I'm gonna invest my time a little bit differently, because I saw a film or a reel of Bruce Willis the other day and him hanging out with his family and stuff like that. It just made my heart kind of melt a little bit, man. I hope nothing but happiness for Bruce in his situation in life, and I just hope he can find some joy. That being said, I'm going to go with an offbeat one of his called Hudson Hawk, man. Came out around the same time. It's an absolutely like ridiculous movie. So he plays a cat burglar. His partner is Danny Aiello, who's a very famous Italian actor who's just awesome. And he gets out of jail and he gets pulled back into it. And the poor guy just wants an espresso or a cappuccino. So he's a cat burglar. He gets pulled into this like cockamamie, like CIA funded, like rich billionaire like scheme to discover and then steal parts of Leonardo da Vinci's like works to produce this gold machine. It's absolutely ridiculous, but they actually sing in the movie. And if you guys don't know, Bruce Willis is an accomplished musician. He's got a band. He's puts out albums. Not necessarily great, but hey, whatever. This movie shines, man. Like I'm sure it bombed at the box office. Rated R for language. But him, Andy McDowell, fucking James Coburn, Richard E. Grant. I'm drawing a blank on the lady's name, but it's just a fantastic cast, man, and it's just a funny ass movie. It is goofy. It might take a couple of watches to appreciate how goofy it is, but they don't take themselves very seriously, and it's just a fun to watch.
Good one, man. Hey, listen, like you said, you really can't go wrong, Bruce Willis.
No, you can't.
So my pick has nothing to do with Bruce Willis, but I am gonna pay him a little homage with this one. Moonlighting, 1985, ran for 5 seasons with
Great
Sybil
show.
Shepherd. Action comedy series. It's really kind of what put like him on the map, right? Before he became a big time movie star, he was a television star. So it's playing on Hulu. If you guys want to check it out, if you kind of want to see like, oh well, like what kind of led to the comedic side of his action, stuff like that. It's a great show, man. And like I said, for 5 seasons, if you got 5 seasons, that means you're pretty solid as a sitcom, especially in the mid '80s. But my pick for movies has nothing to do with Bruce Willis, and this is Ong Bak, the Thai Warrior. So this movie came out in 2003, and I saw it on my first deployment to Afghanistan, and starring Tony Jaa, who is, as we were talking about, me and the guy talking about earlier, one of the lesser celebrated martial arts actors. Like we put him in there with Michael Jai White, with Scott Adkins, and Ong Bak, this High Warrior, is about him leaving his small village to retrieve the head of a statue that the village believes to be very like mystical, right?
Sacred.
It gives powers and properties, and it helps the town to grow and prosper. And he has to go into the city where he meets up with his cousin, who is like a send off from the village from years ago, and the guy's into gambling, all that good stuff. He has a young female with him that they kind of scam people out of money, and they kind of find out that Tony Jaa's character Ting he's got hands, right? So he's not supposed to use his Thai boxing for to profit, but he kind of gets thrown into this fight arena where they're fighting in this place. And I mean the athleticism, the moves, the kicks, it was just phenomenal to watch, man. The guy was like a reminiscent of Jackie Chan, like jumping over cars, flipping backwards. Like, I mean, the spin kicks that were crazy. If you haven't seen Ong Bak, you have to check it out just for the martial arts standpoint. Like the storyline is dubbed and it's kind of cheesy and all that stuff, but what this man could do is amazing. And I think if given the opportunity to go a little bit more mainstream, I think he could have done very well. He was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. I forget which one, 6, 7, 8, 9, one of them. And as a henchman, and I'm like, wow, you kind of deserve a little bit more than that. But yeah, you can catch a few movies of his, on Philo. I actually saw Ong Bak on Philo. You can get it for free. You don't have to pay for Philo if you want to check it out. But it is definitely one of those. If you do see it, I think you will become a fan of Tony Jaa, because the dude is amazing. The fight scenes, some of them are hilarious. Like one guy he takes out with the first kick, like a knee to the chest, like some weird like knee to the chest thing, and the guy just knocks him out cold. But great movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. Like I said, if you got nothing better to do, you want a good action flick to kind of get you into that Christmas spirit. Ong Bak, Thai Warrior.
Way to bring it home.
There you go. Circle it around. Circle the wagons, man. And that's my pick, man. That's it.
Nice.
So I guess we wrap this up with a nice little bow. And for our Christmas episode from the Beards of War, I hope you guys have a great holiday. Like I said, just there's enough bad stuff going on in the world. Don't be part of it. Be on the other side of that. Bring the positive stuff in, and that way we can kind of push all this negative stuff that's going out. Because there's a lot more things to be happy and appreciative about than what's going on right now.
Hell yeah.
That's just from me, Sick Nick Fury.
Yeah, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and hopefully a Happy New Year. And don't get sick. Flu's going around. That's all I got.
All right. Well, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Fat Broken Rambo out here. Happy holidays.
All right. Sick Nick Fury out.